The spooky season is not far off, and what better way to kick off the fall movie season than with another entry in the Conjuring universe? I have seen The Nun II, and I'm here to give my thoughts to all of you. Fair warning, spoilers galore in this video, so if you have not seen the film yet, go to your local theater and come back right after to hear my thoughts. The Nun II is directed by Michael Chavez, who is no stranger to the franchise. He's directed The Curse of La Llorona, as well as The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Both films I didn't really enjoy all that much. It is rated R with a runtime of 1 hour and 52 minutes. In 1956 France, a priest is violently murdered and Sister Irene begins to investigate. She once again comes face to face with a powerful evil. I went into this film with pretty low expectations as I did not enjoy the first Nun film. I was quite bored watching it, honestly, and the fact that this was going to be a sequel to a mostly unnecessary chapter in the Conjuring franchise, my hopes weren't too high. After seeing the film, I walked away with a bit of a mixed opinion. I do think it is superior to the first film. The second half of this film is great. The first half, not so much. Tasia Farmiga returns as Sister Irene, who is joined by new supporting lead Storm Reed as Sister Deborah. Both stars do great jobs of anchoring the film throughout, especially Tasia, who just chews up the scenery. Bonnie Aarons makes her return as the demon nun Valak, and the film goes more in depth about Valak's backstory and motives, how he's returned, and why. It's explained that Valak is looking for an ancient relic, just like the first film, only this relic will grant him back his angelic power that he lost when being rejected by God, as Valak was previously an angel. He goes on a killing spree across Europe, targeting specific individuals who are direct descendants of Saint Lucy, patron saint of the blind. The first half has some decent scares early on, but quickly grow tiresome, and I found myself just ready to move on at that point. I wasn't scared and started to get that same bored feeling that I got when watching the first film. Then Sister Irene and Deborah go on a quest to find this ancient relic before Valak does, while Maurice, who returns from the first film, deals with Valak influencing him and slowly possessing him throughout in order to retrieve this special relic, which is how Valak survived the events of the first film by jumping into his body. And that's where the second half really just ramps up. Sister Irene gets more of her backstory told here about her mother and how she had visions as well, so it runs in the family. She has visions of Saint Lucy, whose eyes were removed by pagans before being murdered. These eyes were buried in a monastery, which is now a boarding school that Maurice is the groundskeeper for. And I do appreciate that we get to see more of Maurice develop as the film goes on. I grew to like his character more in that regard. This is where Valak starts haunting the grounds. It's revealed that Sister Irene is a direct descendant of Saint Lucy, and it becomes a mad dash to find these holy eyes and take them before Valak does. Needless to say, shit hits the fan when this happens. Maurice becomes fully possessed by Valak, a demon goat monster comes into the picture, which really surprised me, and Valak gets his power back. But, however, Valak is defeated by Sister Irene, but if you've seen The Conjuring 2, you know that's not the last that we'll see of him. This entire second half almost felt like a different movie. I'll happily watch this portion over and over again as it was that good. That is kind of also the problem, as it makes the film feel very disjointed overall. There is a mid-credit scene, and we do get Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, Tasia's older sister, returning as Ed and Lorraine Warren, although literally only for a few seconds to answer the phone. This is supposed to set up the next Conjuring film, but it felt rather out of place to me. The connections to the overall universe didn't really feel as impactful. I'm giving The Nun II a score of 2 out of 5. A slow, meandering, and unterrifying first half is anchored by great performances from Reed and Farmiga. The second half of the film is far better in delivering both action and scares in a satisfying way, but it makes the film feel very disjointed, appearing to feel like a completely separate film altogether. But I want to know your thoughts. What did you think of The Nun II? Better yet, what's your favorite film in the Conjuring universe? Let me know down in the comments below. As always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel where I talk games and review movies. Let's get to that golden 100 subscriber count. Until next time, nerds, keep it classy and keep it geeky.